Welcome to the Joyage Kingdom. In today's episode, we'll be doing an interview with myself. I'll be going over random things that came up this past month or so. Every month I try and do one of these sit-downs where I just kind of ramble for however long it goes, talk about life, NFTs, stuff I'm working on, stuff I've done in the past, things I'm proud of, things I need to work on, all those things. So I just post on all my socials. If you have any questions, just drop them in the comments or DM them to me. And if they're any good ones, I'll answer them at the end of this episode. So I'll leave a timestamp if you guys want to skip forward to that. I understand. Sometimes these episodes are hard to do because I always feel like it's not quite the right time to film this video because I'm like, oh, I got this thing coming up, or I should film it after this so I can have this to talk about. But there's never a good time to do these podcasts. I just got to talk about the things I need to do. So let's just start with things I need to work on. Things that I've been struggling with has really been procrastination, which has never really been that big of an issue before. I've always been able to get my shit done, and I still have been able to. But I've just kind of noticed in my daily life that I'll put things off for like the entire day. Like I'll sit around and fucking literally waste the entire afternoon on just straight up bullshit. And I'm like, why am I doing this? Because the thing is, the weird thing is I'm still able to pump out the content and get the product out and get the service, whatever I'm doing, I still get it out. But I just noticed myself wasting like 4 to 5 hours out of every single day. And I'm waking up late because I'm procrastinating going to sleep. And then I procrastinate getting out of bed. And it's this whole process. Like I go to bed procrastinating and I wake up procrastinating. And that's not a good way to set your day. So I've really been focusing on nailing down a self-discipline and listening to like motivational stuff, which I haven't done that in a fucking long time. The last time I listened to like motivational types of videos was probably high school, maybe, when I was getting into lifting and stuff like that. And ever since then, I've been able to kind of just ride through with self-discipline, with goal setting and stuff. But right now with like the gym, I don't really have any specific goals. Like I just want to look good. But the thing is, I kind of already look good. I kind of have muscles still. Like I still look fine. And so I've been kind of struggling just in any department. I feel like I'm just kind of spinning my wheels, waiting for an opportunity to kind of present itself. And a lot of them have presented themselves, a lot of business opportunities. The thing is, those things take a fucking long time. And the one thing that pisses me off about this world, not just the 9-to-5 grind thing where you have to deal with other people's bullshit, in the entrepreneur life, the non-9-to-5 crowd, it's just as fucking bad. Like, you want a deal to go through. Like, okay, let's set up a meeting. Let's do this. Let's do that. It takes like fucking 6 weeks. And I don't understand why. I'm like, bro, I'm ready. Let's do this right now. And they're like, I got to call this person, talk to this person, like set it up. Like, I'll get a meeting like in 2 weeks. And I'm like, yo, what in the fuck are you? Why do it take so long? Why does everything take so long? So I'm just sitting on like 5 deals right now, waiting just to hear back on all of them. And that's part of the reason I've been pushing out this thing. Because I'm like, there's a few things that I'm waiting on that could be really cool news. And I just like, I've just been waiting for forever, it feels like. So that's one thing I've been noticing is things are just taking a long time, and that's fine. You know, I've kind of just subscribed to that model of gonna take a minute. Honestly, I'm really surprised that, oh my God, there's this fucking bug here that keeps flying. There's just one little like fruit fly. I gotta kill it before I can't continue this podcast. Okay, I don't even know what I was saying there, but another thing I'm working on is getting more videos on YouTube to bring more value. So I built my brand on the reviews. I deliver value through my reviews on my podcast, right? I'm still doing my podcast a lot, still doing the reviews. The reviews aren't hitting the same, like as far as views, retention, anything. And honestly, even just value, because people aren't really looking for those videos anymore. I still think there's a place for the reviews because they're important, but they're not pulling in the same kind of views, the attention. People aren't searching for full in-depth reviews of certain projects anymore because there's not as many people interested in doing that kind of stuff, which I've just noticed in general for the NFT space. So I've really been meditating on idea planning and be like, what kind of video is necessary right now? Who is my target audience again? It needs to change, right? It's not the same audience as it was in the bull market. It's not the same. So I have to switch things up. There's a reason that the videos aren't getting as many views because people aren't looking up for those kind of videos. So what are they looking for? Is it probably Web3 content just in general that can onboard more people? Yes, of course. But a large bit of my audience already knows the basic fundamentals of NFTs, so I'd be doing them a disservice by making videos like how to make a MetaMask wallet. Like, I'm not going to make videos like that. But I'm going to make videos that are more talking about the psychology of the industry, things that people can do to elevate themselves within the industry to kind of blow up. Because as you guys know, well, if you know my story, I started with NFT content stuff in September-ish. I went full-time in like October. So really quick, basically. Like I made a few videos, and after like 5 or 10, one popped, and I just rolled with that for a while. Got picked up by another company. They started to just sponsor my channel basically, and I just went in full-time right there. I just dove all head in, and then built an entire online business through my reviews. And that's been fine and dandy. It's been incredible, honestly. And so I've been in the space for a while, and I've kind of just, it's been a slow incline ever since that. I've gone from like 200 followers on Twitter to like almost 8,000 now. I had, I think, 400 on YouTube before I started doing NFT content. That has risen to almost 8,000 as well. Same with TikTok. All the things have been like a slow incline, right? Because I don't make those kind of 10x videos like, buy this coin tomorrow. Like, I don't do that kind of stuff because I've been very specific on what kind of audience I get, because I'm interested in gaining and garnering respect from dope people who are up high. The only way to do that is to make content that I would be proud of, and that a 40-year-old man who's a CEO of a company would be like, yo, that video is good. That video was helpful to me. I want to talk to that guy. That guy's cool. He's putting good content out there. That's the kind of vibe I want to give off my channel and my videos. And it worked. Like, I got conversations with really dope people. I've been in conversations where I'm sitting there going, why the fuck am I here, bro? I'm like a 24-year-old kid. Like, I should not be here in this conversation. I shouldn't be in this room, kind of thing. And it's been really, really cool, because it's not really about pretending to be something you're not. It's really just about like showing up as an equal and being confident in what you're able to do. Like, if a CEO who's 40 years old, who has all these accolades, wants to talk to me, there's a fucking reason. It's not because I'm not qualified. He wouldn't talk to me if I wasn't qualified. So it's because of all the hundreds, like I put in over 100 reviews already. It's because of the work I put in, the level of person I've interviewed already. It gives me a little bit more credibility. And so yeah, I've just been focusing on trying to figure out ways to pivot my content where I'm able to just bring as much value as I can. But at the same time, I'm still trying to put out a consistent amount of videos. So it's kind of hard, because every time I start to think that I got to film a video, then I got to do a live stream, then I got to edit. And honestly, like, that's been the biggest change in the past 6 weeks or so since we last did an interview with myself, was that I've really dove in like head first into short form content. As soon as I saw Andrew Tate's thing happen where he just took over the internet, there's a very specific way he did that, and that's for sound bites. Lots of sound bites, lots of them, having lots of accounts post for them, right? Very much Gary Vee style on steroids almost. And I don't have the means to just make 45 accounts or pay someone to make a bunch of accounts for me. But what I do have in my control is clipping up every single podcast ever that I've done. So I went back and I found all these episodes that I've done that I thought maybe would bring some value, and I figured out over 6 weeks how to edit for sound bites. It's a very specific art style. Like, unless you've tried and you've actually studied it, sound bites are really hard to nail, right? 3/4 of my videos don't hit, but 1/4 of them are. That's better than it was 8 weeks ago. 8 weeks ago, 1 out of 10 was hitting, right? The rest were getting absolute jack shit for views and like attention and stuff and followers. But now it's like every like 4 or 5 videos is doing really well, and I'm not used to that, but it's because I'm getting better at it. And so I'm really happy with that progression, because I intently focus on that. I was like, I'm gonna get this shit down. What is the hook? How do I hook these people in? Because this clip is important, but I need them to listen to the whole thing. How do I get them and just attract their attention and build the tension, build up the interest in the video until the very end, when they've watched the whole video and they either rewatch it or they engage or they follow. There's like an art to it. So it's taken a long time, and I'm very much ahead of the curve. As you guys know, if you're following me on Twitter, I drop the alpha there for content creation, especially if you're a content creator. My Twitter is a good place to be, because I drop all the helpful tips that I come up with on the fly as I'm going. I drop them on Twitter. Like, you guys would have gotten in early on the alpha for YouTube Shorts 2 months before Gary Vee was the first one to bring. Gary Vee is normally the first guy to bring up new trends and stuff. I was 2 months ahead of him. 2 months. Right? And I'm a month ahead of him. He still hasn't even talked about TikTok. He still doesn't know, because he's doing his own stuff. My job is to be there scoping the entire area. So this isn't what he's doing right now. So that's why I'm able to get there faster before him. What I do know about TikTok is right now that is the place to build your NFT community. TikTok is the answer. YouTube Shorts, for a lot more views and attention, they go hand in hand. You just repost your TikToks and the YouTube Shorts, boom, you get double the growth. But TikTok communities right now are where I think the Twitter and Discord communities are going to migrate a little bit into. I think TikTok is going to be the main hub for NFTs, because Twitter and Discord is fucking niche. It's very niche. It's very culty, right? If you're not in NFTs, I guarantee you didn't have a Twitter before that, right? I didn't have a Twitter before NFTs. Why the fuck would I have Twitter, right? No one has Twitter. Like, it's not like a thing. People don't like actively use Twitter the way that we do in NFT land. Like, some people do, but not the way we do it, right? It's a cult. Everyone uses TikTok. Everybody. Everyone uses Instagram. There will be a time where Instagram starts to take over. It's not, because it's going to be way after TikTok, in my opinion. But Instagram's time will come. I don't think it's there yet, so I don't allocate really any time there. Gary Vee just posted a video the other day where he said Instagram went from number 1 to number 5 on his list of priorities. So it's important to be following me on Twitter, because I dropped these things. I dropped that months ago about Instagram not being the place for NFTs. Don't waste your time there yet. It'll be a time you can, put content out there, but don't focus all your attention on Instagram Reels. Put your attention on TikTok and YouTube Shorts. And if you had, you would have I mean, I've seen a massive increase in views and followers on my TikTok and YouTube from doing that short form content. Okay, so now that I've gotten through some of the things I've been working on, things I've been thinking about, let's go into things I've been super hyped about in the past 6 weeks ish. So let's talk about people I've interviewed. So we've gotten Bento Boy, another YouTuber. We had Danny Casale, Cool Man's Universe founder. We did a podcast with Cody on Chain, another NFT YouTuber, Solana King. We interviewed World of Webman and VFriends. We interviewed the founder of Dippies. We interviewed the founder of DogePound. We interviewed the Discord manager for VFriends. We interviewed Voltura, the founder of Psychedelic Anonymous. We interviewed Kosher Plug, another NFT YouTuber. We interviewed the Dapper Labs, NBA Top Shop, and Crypto Kitties founder, Super OG Arthur Kamara. We've had a fucking jam-packed podcast of the last month. I really do think that the podcast is my niche. It is a very specific niche. A lot of people can do interviews and podcasts, but not a lot of people can run a show. There's a big difference, right? And I just auditioned for this show position at this Web3 company. I think I nailed I think I got the job. I really nailed that audition. And it's way different to be like a show host than to do like an interview. There's a big difference. When you watch an interview with the founder and you watch my show with the founder, they're very different vibes. Mine is way more casual, laid back. Let's talk about some stuff. If you want, let's open up and talk some shit. Like, a little bit of like Joe Rogan vibes, but also Lex Fridman. Like, we're gonna get down in the gritty details about stuff. But I'm also gonna ask about life, your routines, what you're doing in your daily life, what habits you like doing, like just like a bunch of human things to humanize the founder, so that their community can benefit, their own personal brand, they can benefit from it. So it's one of those things that like I get to interview them, which helps my brand, helps my credibility. I'm able to reach out to bigger people and say, hey, I've interviewed these people, let's do a pod. It helps me out. But I think, in my opinion, it brings way more value to them. They get a whole piece about them as a person and as a founder or creator, whatever they are. So yeah, the podcast has been absolutely crushing it. Every single month, I feel like I cap out and I'm like, boom, that was it. Like when Dead Fellas happened, I was like, boom, we just got Betty. Dub. That's the top right there. Then CyberKongs, and I was like, oh shit. And then it just like kept going up and up and up. So I don't see I don't see a ceiling for the Joyage Kingdom podcast show. And I fucking manifested this years ago at the beginning of my podcast journey in February, I think, of 2021. So about a year and a half ago, I started the podcast just for myself, just as a place to do kind of this, to just rant about things and talk uninterrupted, get my fucking stuff out of my head and just put it onto a medium. And turned into a couple of interviews with friends, and I was like, that's actually kind of fun. And then I started just doing more, and I was like, yo, if I interview like someone dope one day, someone way out of my league or something, I gotta be able to hold my shit together. Like, how am I gonna do this? I was like, well, I gotta do a lot of podcasts. So I started doing 2-3 podcasts a week for a while. Then I took a little bit of a break. I started traveling. If you guys know my story there, I was traveling, living in my car for a little bit, still doing the podcast. And when I got into the NFT space, I was like, wow, there's like no one doing podcasts. There's no one doing reviews. So I filled a couple different niches right when I got started. But the podcast is where I really thrive. I love doing podcasts. I love talking to people. Especially in the last couple years, I've really nailed down my self-confidence and my ability to believe in myself and hold my own in a conversation or in a setting with someone who I believe is probably at a higher status than me or whatever. But I don't really let that get in the way of having a good discussion and being like, yo, I am an equal in this person's eyes. I know in my head I don't feel an equal because I haven't accomplished as much, so I'm probably here objectively. But when we go into the podcast show arena and they're on my show, we're now level, which is cool, right? And it's a good opportunity for me to like flex my muscles or whatever, you know what I mean? So it's a good place to be as a show host, I think, as far as like leverage, as far as credibility, as far as just building in the space, becoming a known figure in the space. Like if people are like, yo, who do I go if I want to talk about this? We have a big announcement coming up. We want to get it out, but we want to talk about it. It's like, well, you go on the Joyage Kingdom podcast show. So that's kind of what I'm building. It's like the late night show with Jimmy Fallon when someone has a movie coming out or a book coming out. They go, yo, let's talk about stuff, and then let's also promote the book a little bit. Like I want my show to be something like that. So there's always a bit of a give and take where they get to really get a tangible benefit, because they can clip with their podcast, take the sound bites there and post on their own stuff. I can do the same. We all grow. Everybody's happy. Everybody wins. So it's one of those things that's where I see the growth of this podcast show. And I truly believe my show will be comparable to a Joe Rogan style show where people will be like, yo, that is the show to go on. The Joyage Kingdom podcast show is the one we want to get to. That's the number one. That's the A side, right? The A side is the fucking Joyage Kingdom podcast show. I don't ever want to be like begging for a podcast or like constantly asking people for favors. Like I don't want it to ever be that. I want them to be like, yo, we love your fucking show. We've got cool shit. Let's talk. I want it to be that. And right now, it is that. That's how all the podcasts are happening right now. So I have some questions and some pointers that I wrote down for myself. So one of them is like, what's happening in my day in the life? So my day in the life is pretty generic for the most part. I'm really not spending any time working on any kind of social stuff because I don't care right now. I just have, every time I've gone on a date, I've been on a few here in Seattle, I just fucking don't want to be there after a few minutes. I'm like, yo, I don't have any interest in this. I don't really want a girlfriend. I don't have time for any of these things mentally more. I just like don't care to. When I've met people, it's been fine, but I don't have any interest. I've met a few people who are like native to Web3. They're cool, but I still don't have time because I'm constantly doing podcasts here. Like I'm doing a lot of social stuff online. So I'm kind of like good. Like I'm like, I'm fine. I don't really care right now, and I'm focusing on building my stuff. Like I know you're supposed to have balance, but I truly think that if you want to win, then there's no such thing as balance. Like you can't be balanced if you're trying to win. If you're trying to be balanced and you want to be a good person, have 70% here, 70% here, 70% here, 70% here, 70% here, that's cool, but I'd rather just put 100% into this and 0% everywhere else because I want to be the best here. So that's the way I look at things. My mom has been a big promoter of me being more balanced. She would always like get mad at me growing up. She's like, why are you so extreme? Why do you go all in on everything? Why can't you just be chill and like balanced? So I'm like, bro, that's not how the fuck you win. You don't win by being fucking balanced, ever. No one who won, who got to the top, did it by taking care of this and taking care of that and making sure this is on point. No, it doesn't fucking happen. Once you've won, then absolutely you take your balance, you spread it out, you start paying attention to this part of your life, associating more time here, spending more time with your family and friends. But when you're trying to build to get to the fucking top, guess what? Your competition is not balanced. So if you balance yourself and you take away 10% of your mental energy towards the thing you're trying to build, you will fucking lose because someone else is working just as hard as you, just as long as you, and they're not going to be balanced and they're going to beat you. So anyways, what's my day in the life? So right now, if I have a show, a lot of times I have a stream or a show around midday-ish. A lot of my streams are around 12. So I've been getting up. I've really been trying to nail this down. What I want is to wake up around 8 or 9, walk outside for about 5 minutes, get some sunlight exposure, come back and probably knock out 2 hours of editing. That's the ideal thing. It's been happening the last few days, honestly. Like not quite the way I want, but that is the goal. So right now, usually I'll just wake up, kind of meander around, take a little bit of a walk, maybe get some work done. But typically in the morning, I'm doing a lot of just like putting out fires, answering emails, answering DMs, going through my socials, seeing who responded, seeing what's happening, being sure I'm up to date on everything going on. So that's typically what my morning is, just catching up on everything that happened overnight. And then I will do my stream or whatever. That'll be like 1 to 2 hours, typically 2 hours. And then ideally, I'd love to go straight from there into a run. But usually I need like an hour to kind of just like decompress or something. So I usually just kind of like waste time for an hour. Maybe I'll eat something. And then I go for a run, get back like 45 minutes or an hour later. I'll shower. I'll typically eat right then. Then I'll jump into some editing. And then, yeah, just kind of doing like editing, a mix of editing and being on my phone and posting stuff like that. Like I post every single hour on TikTok. That's really, really crushing my my mental health a little bit just because that's a big reason my procrastinating happened because every hour I'm logging into TikTok to post something, but like I had to wait probably 30 seconds for it to post. So like while that 30 seconds is happening, I'm just kind of scrolling. Next thing I know, it's been 15 minutes and I'm like, ah, shit. And so that's been happening a lot, but that's typically my day in the life. Like after I fucking do my stuff in the day, like if I'm not filming, I'm just editing all day, all night. I just stop like whenever I get fucking tired or something, and then I just go to sleep and do it again. And that's like the reality of it. That's the grind of the YouTube. That's why most people can't do it. It's hard to edit all day long, every single day. Like it never ends. Like I always have things to be edited, and that's probably 90% of my time right there. So until you're a YouTuber who can afford an editor, that is your fucking life. If I didn't have an editor, the time I would get back, like the 6 or 7 hours I would get back, I would probably allot that time to, I would sign up to an MMA gym or Orange Theory, some kind of class gym to get a little bit of social, a little bit of just kind of like getting active as an athlete. I want to get back into that. So I would definitely do something like that, or sign up for like a rec soccer league or beach volleyball, like something along those lines, something athletic and social. That's probably what I would replace it with. But right now in my grind phase, bro, I don't give a fuck. Every time I have an ounce of free time, I'm going to try and get things done. I'm going to try and edit. I'm just going to be productive because that's the sprint of life I'm in right now. And I'm so fucking close. I am like so close to not being in that race anymore. And I'm really excited about that. But that means I got to gas it forward and just go. So that's really been my life for the past few months. And I'm aware that people will say that maybe you're never going to stop, like you're just going to keep sprinting and you're going to find a new thing and sprint towards that. And maybe that's the case. But I do have in my head, like I have thought about these things, and I don't want to sprint all the time. Like I love working, and I'm definitely addicted to it in a sense, but I'm not addicted enough to not go spend 2 to 4 hours doing something social or active or something. Like I'm not that level of insane. Like if I have the chance to, and it's not going to hurt my productivity, where it's like, yo, I have an editor doing the work. It's not like the work's not getting done. Like someone's doing the work. I just have been able to pay for it. I'm super willing to go spend those 4 extra hours taking care of my the rest of my life a little bit. But then when you're introduced to something that you got to sprint for a while, put that shit in the back burner, dude. That's just the fucking way it works. If you want to win and get to the top and be the best and be the person that people go to when they're like, who is this person? Like, who do I go to for this? And you want them to say your name. You gotta sprint when it's required. It's just, there's no way to go around that. You gotta put in the work at some point. Also, I have this new segment that I want to start doing if I can remember it. It's honestly like I have so many things that are always happening at the same time, so many different series, so many different things happening that I forget to follow through sometimes with extra little segments within shows. Like me and Tom are starting to do this at tea time, just doing a little AMA stuff, asking random questions about random stuff. But I want to start doing this. I have a little thing in my notes here where I've written down different accomplishments, events, moments in my life that I just remember for some reason because they're just either important or they just highlighted for some reason and I remember them. So I want to share this one. And then after I share the story, I want to go into Twitter and Instagram and figure out if there were anyone who had questions for me. So this is a story that happened when I was in high school. I believe this was my junior or senior year. And I had a friend, her name was Sydney Hilburn. She was this super beautiful, blonde hair, I think blue eyes, tan, like typical what people would say when they're like hot girl. Like that's typically what people think for whatever reason. Like, I'm not trying to offend anyone, but that's just typically what dudes do in high school. So right, like the classic hot girl, right? Me and her were really close friends. Neither of us were particularly romantically interested in each other. I don't know why. I forget what it was that made us not particularly interested in that sense, but we never really like sexually attracted. But we were great friends. We got along so well. She was so funny. We just fucked around all the time. We had the same classes together. She was right across the street from me, so we just go and hang out all the time. But it was never like that, right? So anyways, everyone always thought we were hooking up. Like literally everyone in our school. We had a somewhat small school, like people, if you were somewhat popular at all, everyone knew your business. So everyone knew I was friends with her and everyone wanted to get with her, right? So everyone just figured we were hooking up. We never were hooking up, right? But everyone thought we were. So anyways, one day, my friend Ryan was like, yo, like you've got to be hooking up with her. And I was like, no, I'm not. And then I was like, you know what? I wonder what she would say. Like, I don't know what she thinks. So we were driving to the soccer game. I had a game or she had a game, right? So one of us was dropping the other person off at the school and we're about to like enter the school and I turned her and I was like, yo, would you ever date me? Or would you ever like, what do you, like, what are your thoughts? Everyone, like you've heard all the rumors, right? What do you think? And I wasn't even interested. I was just asking platonically. And she turns to me and I remember this. She turns to me. I think I was driving. She says, fuck no, Cade, you're a dick. And I was like, what? Wait, I'm a dick? I was like, what are you talking about? I was like, I'm the nicest person ever. Like, what? We're like best friends. Why are you calling me a dick? And I was like kind of shocked, but it was kind of like imposter syndrome, how you're always scared someone's going to call you out. But then it happened and I was like, wait, what are you talking about? What do you mean? Explain yourself. And she says, well, you change a little bit around other people. And I was like, really? I thought, like this is something I've thought about because other friends would do this too, where I was like, yo, you turn into like kind of a dick when you're around other people. And I always figured I was above that. Like I don't do that. I stay the same. I'm true to myself. And what I realized in that moment was that like we all think we are the special. We all think we are the one that sticks out. We are the only outlier. We're the only one who doesn't do this. We're the only one who notices stuff about other people. And it's not true. Like we literally do the same shit to other people that people get pissed off about. We just don't notice it because we're not that person being like that thing is happening to. We just take it from our own perspective because that's all we have. So I never thought that, and I don't think I changed that much. I think she's being a little bit over dramatic, but I was basically like, I had no idea, and I realized it was like my own insecurities that kind of made it blind to that. Like I would always pick the popular party instead of hanging out with my friends if I could, just because I was trying to be popular, right? And I didn't really think about like how that affected other people, or I'd maybe make a joke that was, I guess, mean, or like I didn't think it was mean, but it was mean to the other person, or they took it personally and I didn't mean for it. I just didn't think about it. And I just remember that because I was just kind of like, damn, what the fuck? Like I did not think I was a dick, and you're telling me and you're one of my best friends and I do respect your opinion and I trust you. So if you're telling me I'm a dick, I really like need to think about being myself around other people because maybe I'm not. And so that moment stuck out to me because I truly thought I was like the one guy who's different. And I feel most guys think that. And from the consensus I've seen on TikTok, at least, all dudes are basically the same. So I took that. There's two ways you could take that. One is you accept it and you say, fuck, whatever. I guess I'm a fuck boy. I guess I'm an asshole, whatever. Or you can do what I did, which was, I was like, fuck that, dude. I'm going to do my very best to not be that guy again. I don't want to be in that position where one of my best friends calls me out and says, yo, you're a piece of shit, kind of. That sucked. That like actually sucked. It's pretty humiliating. I didn't let it get to me like that too much, but I remember being like, God damn, bro, fuck. There's no way. Like, there's no way. I tried so hard to be like true, and I'm not. To my best friend, who I thought I don't know. I just remember that moment stuck out to me, and it was just crazy. It was just crazy. So anyways, let's jump into Twitter. So it does look like some people have some comments here. Okay, so it's split on like NFT questions and normal life questions. So I'm gonna start with the normal life questions and get to the NFT stuff at the end. Okay, so for the first question, Andres Salinas on Instagram, he says, "Why do you have that emoji in your name, and how does it represent you and your brand?" So I think this is my Twitter. So I'm just gonna screenshot this. If you see my Twitter, I have this little gold fucking emblem thing that's in my bio, and honestly I like it because one, I like shiny shit and it's just cool. It looks like the trident, but it's not quite a trident. If I pick a trident that already has too much meaning to it, this one is basically like a smaller, lesser known version of a trident, and it doesn't have an attached meaning to it. Like when you think of a trident, you think of like Poseidon and things attributed to that kind of thing, and it's already like taken basically. And this one was like, oh, this is like a little bit less well known. It looks dope. It's like Joyage Kingdom-esque. You know, I go for like Zelda, royal, cool. I don't know. I just thought it like fit the vibe of the Joyage Kingdom. Like this, for example, gives me like super Joyage Kingdom vibes. I think it's dope as fuck. And I don't know, just kind of like Zelda vibes. I just fuck with it. There's no like specific reason. I just thought it looks cool, so I just added it, and I think it adds a little bit more brand, a little bit more story and lore and depth to the name and to the brand. Okay, then we have a mod for Feline Fiends Autumn. She says, "What was your first job, and did you go to college?" So my first job ever was probably my own like lemonade stand, and then I also did a like landscaping, which is like a lawnmower, cutting grass, shit like that. Like I feel like every teenager did that, so I did that for a long time. I made a good bit of money doing that, but my first legitimate job was I think 15 years old. I worked at a Bilo, which is like a Publix or a Harris Teeter type of place, except fucking bottom of the food chain, like literally the worst. My manager was a piece of fucking garbage, dude. She was a piece of garbage, and she sucked. And I remember she made my life a living hell, and I hated every second of it. Literally every second of it. I was just like, what the fuck am I doing right now? Like, you have a 30-minute break where you are forced to take a 30-minute break, and you just sit around the fucking grocery store eating fucking Doritos and a sandwich, and I'm just like, yo, why am I what am I doing? This is not good. This is not it. And so I remember there were other people that were working there who were like in their 60s, 70s as cashiers, and I remember distinctly thinking, this is one of the main reasons I believe that I am someone who's trying to make something out of a non-9-to-5 life. There were 16 and 7-year-old people there saying to me, this is the end of the line for me. This is where this is like the only job I can get, that type of mentality. And I remember being like, yo, what the fuck are you doing at 70 years old, and this is the only job you can get? There is no way that can happen to me. None. Right? And I got another job working as like a janitor at a gym, and I remember just like working that job and be like, yo, this blows. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but it cannot be this stuff, because this is horrible. Right? And as I got older and started doing more jobs, I liked the jobs where it was more of a collaborative environment, and it wasn't so much like boss employee. It was more like we're all working together. So I was like, that's okay, but I still didn't like the idea of being like boss around. Like if there was something that I wanted to do, I had to ask someone still to get like signing off, like approval and stuff. So I just kind of got to a point where I was like, yeah, nah, dude, I'll figure something else out. I don't know what it's going to be. When I started working at the restaurant as a server, that you basically have you're doing your own thing basically. Like, of course you have the manager there who can yell at you to do stuff, but for the most part, like, you're in charge of your section, you're in charge of your shit. I liked that aspect. Then I started DoorDashing, love DoorDashing, absolutely no fucking boss there. Like if something went wrong, I just closed the fucking app. Like if there's something went wrong with the food and like they can't do this, they can't figure it out, bro, done. Sorry, clocked out. Bye. See you later. No one can do anything, right? And so I just liked that freedom, and that kind of led to like one step after another and got to me to where I am today. And did I go to college? I got a bachelor's degree in public health from College of Charleston. Have not used that. I don't particularly have that much interest in pursuing anything there, but it was like not that bad to get it. I was a nursing major my freshman year, transferred to another school. They didn't offer nursing. I would have maybe stuck with it. I did a thing where I shadowed a nurse. I didn't really like what it was. It looked pretty terrible to me, so I ended up pulling out, moving schools, and then being like, you know what, let me try something else. I did computer science for a year, got absolutely destroyed. Like, I have never taken so many L's in 1 year. I got like a D plus in programming 1, a D plus or like a C minus in website programming, but I cheated the entire year. I cheated the entire year, and I still failed 2 of the classes. So computer science is fucking hard, really, really hard. And then I jumped to public health because it was the only science major where I wouldn't have to take an extra year of college. So I just did public health, and it was fine. I loved college. 2018, 2017 was probably my craziest year. Maybe I'll go on and do a full podcast with my old roommate. Just a lot of wild shit happened. That was like, when you hear people tell crazy stories about college, yo, shit got crazy. My 2017, 2018, when I was like 20 years old, 21 years old, I got some wild fucking stories. You may not think so. You may be like, no, Cade's a pretty mellow guy. No, some fuck shit happened in 2017, 2018. Like some real fuck shit. Like stuff that you would not expect to come out of my mouth. There are things that happen in that apartment downtown Charleston that like some of the things I can't talk about, but some crazy shit. So I'll talk about it one day, I think. We have a head full of heart.eth. What's your favorite kind of music? Do you have a favorite band? And that's the collab manager for ZerkPass and station chef for Kitchen by Pasta, mod for Nifty Dash, and lore manager for Neuromod's NFT. Favorite kind of music? No, honestly, I haven't listened to much music recently. Like if I'm listening to something, it's typically like a video. Like I'm really trying to stay like I'm really trying to stay in the know of what's going on in general, like trending news and stuff, because it helps my brand to talk about these things and make videos that are up to date with stuff. So I really like spend every moment that I'm not editing or filming, like watching videos and like trying to see as much, like trying to just absorb as much as I can while keeping my actual identity separate. Like I'm not sitting there getting upset about fucking whoever who said something on celebrity Twitter. Like I don't care. I just need to know so that I can pivot my content the way I need to, or make a video on it, or how does it tie back into NFTs. So I haven't listened to music recently. When I do, it's been just lo-fi, so just typing like whatever lo-fi. Other than that, I'm really not picky. I like all music. I don't have like a favorite band or anything like that though. Like I find a lot of music just from random places. Like I'll just hear a song somewhere and I'll just save it. So I have like an entire album with like 200 songs in it, and none of them are at all the same. So just random shit all over the place. Next we have brainshambles.eth. She's the founder of the Anxious Bulldogs NFT project. Shout out Brain Shambles. She says, what is your favorite breakfast food? Oh fuck. All right, so I absolutely love home fries. Home fries are absolutely top of the food chain breakfast food. They're the top. Parfaits are great, especially if you're gonna go buy something. If you're at a brunch place, parfaits are so fucking good usually. So I'm going to go parfaits, home fries. A classic avocado toast is really strong. That's a strong play right there. And then just straight coffee, cream. That's it. Coffee and cream, like a typical breakfast place. They just, for some reason, serve baller coffee. It's really good. And honestly, I've been in Seattle for a few months now, and we're known as like a coffee place. And I've probably tried 6 or 7 different places, and they are all terrible beyond belief for iced coffees. So I've really been turned off by the iced coffee in Seattle. It's really been disappointing, honestly. I'm going to try and start, it's going to be like fall, winter soon at some point. So once that happens, I'll be able to get hot coffee, and it's going to be cheaper. So I'm really excited to try the hot coffee. I'm really hoping it's good, because the iced coffee in Seattle is miserable. It's like 0 out of 10. Okay, next we have Evergreen_Jones. What drives you to create art? Do you believe that your passion to capture images is inherently a part of your soul? Or does the muse of life direct where you aim your camera, or both? Also, happy World Photography Day. Happy World Photography Day indeed. I have some NFT projects that are based around my self-portrait, so if you want to check that out, that's what those are. So what drives me to capture art? So I haven't been in a capturing art mentality in a while. Like that was my literal life when I was living in the car. So when I was traveling, living in my car, I was doing that with also being a traveling photographer and podcast host kind of thing, right? So I was taking lots of photos. And the reason I did it was more because I just like wanted to capture it. I was like, I just want to capture moments. That's the only thing I was really driven by. Capturing dope shots, dope moments, cool candid shots. I just like capturing moments. And when I'm filming, or if I'm shooting with someone and I'm doing a photo shoot for them, for example, I love capturing just like photogenic moments of them, and then being able to look at those photos and be like, holy shit, like that's awesome. And a lot of people struggle with outside validation and self-confidence. I've noticed a lot. And that's something I was forced to reconcile with. That's why I talk about it like I'm a veteran or something. Like I was forced to reconcile with that and face that and ponder it for 6 months, living in my car all by myself, solo traveling. So I know what that means, because that's literally what I was. I don't struggle with that kind of stuff anymore. I don't have imposter syndrome anymore, but it's because I went on a 6-month soul-searching journey. That is why I can say these things with confidence, even at 24 years old. And for me, like, I don't draw any extra satisfaction if someone else thinks my photo is cool, if someone else thinks my body looks good, or they want what I want, or they give me a compliment. Like, I don't draw any satisfaction, nor do I particularly draw too much just like anger when someone disagrees with me. I'm just kind of like, oh, all right, like whatever. But it's not the case for a lot of people, and I think I'm a helping stepping stone to them to be like, no, you look like this. This is what you look like. Start having confidence in that. Like, you are dope. You are cool. You are beautiful. Those things. And for them to be able to like see this photo raw, no editing done, and be like, you look like that. You're fucking awesome. That's cool for me, because then they're like, fuck yeah, like that was so fun, like that was so cool. And I just like delivering that. And then if I'm doing it for myself, just capturing a dope shot, like that goes back to my soccer days when I was making, if you go on this channel, actually you can find some free kick videos, but I was making these free kick videos because that's what was popping back in 2009, 2010 on YouTube. And that's when I first started getting into making videos and stuff. And I was obsessed with capturing like the perfect shot. Like every single day I would set out probably 2-3 hours and just film the entire session, me hitting free kicks, right? But the goal was to always get like 2 or 3 that were just like perfect. And I wouldn't fucking leave until I got 2 or 3 of those shots. At least one though. So I got obsessed with like getting that shot. And so with photography, like I get an idea in my head and I'm like, yo, I want that shot to come out the way I want, and I'm just gonna just sit here until it happens. And so I did that, and I just like the idea of capturing moments like that when I was in NFT New York. If there's like, I don't do it too much anymore, but if I have my camera with me on photography settings on, I'll just look for like cool moments, cool spectacles, and be like, yo, snap that shot. It's kind of like a muscle that you grow and you flex over time. And it's one of those things for me, it's basically a second nature, because I was living a travel photographer life for 6 months straight. Like every moment of my day was trying to find cool moments. So I got used to it. I kind of like built that muscle. But I don't know where it comes from, dude. I don't know where the need to create art comes from. I just want to. And I'm okay just leaving it at that. I just want to, bro. I don't fucking know. Okay, if it's Irish, what is your advice to artists that just started in the NFT space? My advice to artists is to watch my NFT. I think I have an NFT artist playlist or NFT for beginners playlist on my YouTube. It's going to be to watch that. It's going to be to watch that, especially the video that me and Sydney made together about 8 months ago, I think. Basically like how to sell art as an NFT artist. That kind of video. And that is a very important video to watch, because what people don't know about being an NFT artist is you're not an NFT artist. You're a content creator who sells art. That is what an NFT artist is, because NFTs are digital art. If you're an artist selling digital art, how the fuck are you going to sell that? By marketing yourself, by becoming a social media person that people connect to and they like, and they say, oh, I want your NFT now. That's how you're going to be an artist in the NFT space. You're not really just going to be it because you've got dope art. Everyone's got dope art, right? But art is also subjective. The most random photographer could blow up overnight, and it wouldn't be anyone's fault. It wouldn't be because of this or that. It's just what happened. And so if you want to give yourself the best chance, it's going to be to grow a community. I think on TikTok, on YouTube Shorts, mainly TikTok though. Get onto Twitter, get into Discord, obviously. But start to just film and document your journey. Talk about your art, talk about you, make videos, get a core community of a few hundred people, a few thousand people, and I guarantee you'll make some sales, because I've seen it happen time and time again. I've been in the NFT TikTok sphere. Kind of me and Sydney kind of like led the charge there, I feel like. And we kind of built it from the ground up, and there's many opportunities right now. So I would say get on TikTok, start filming content, just like watch a lot of people, watch my content, watch the people that I follow, watch their content, stuff like that, and just get immersed in the space, and just realize it's going to take a while. You probably won't sell out quick. It's probably going to take a little bit of time. Most people don't sell their art collection out right after they post it, even if their art is like top tier. Unless you're somebody, your art's not going to hold value, right? Beeple, the #1 artist guy who made like $69 billion selling that NFT, he sold that because of who he is as an artist in the real world. People know him, so his art has value. If you're not someone who people know or care about, your art will go down in value, which is not what you want. It's not what you want, let's be honest. I know you want to sell out the collection, but you want your NFTs to hold value. That's like the main goal there. Okay, next, jpalhambra.eth. What is the best, most strategic way to stack ETH flipping NFTs? The most strategic way to stack ETH flipping NFTs. So I am not someone who does a lot of flipping. I don't claim to be someone who's a connoisseur at flipping NFTs. So I would watch other channels. There's this guy, I think his name is Max. I'll just drop their YouTubes and their TikToks and stuff on the page here. They're pretty good alpha colors. Other than that, I would just find the other guys. Like Kosher's a good one. Bento's a good one. NFT Nate. Just kind of like watch videos on new hyped up projects. Try to get on the whitelist. The answer's not going to change much. I mean, it's all pure luck. You're in a casino pulling slots. That's what you're doing. You're pulling slots on 50 different things. You know, the free mint meta is kind of over, so it's going to be getting lucky. And basically the answer is going to be called getting lucky. I think a way more sustainable model is to just have a normal job, have normal income coming in, and allot 30%, and just buy Ethereum and just stack ETH that way. You're not going to stack ETH by buying NFTs. You're going to buy more NFTs with ETH, right? So figure out what you want to do. If your goal is to stack ETH and build generational wealth, it ain't going to be buying NFTs. You're not going to pick the right NFT that does a 500x over the next 2 years. It's just not going to happen. It might happen, but it's not going to happen. All right. So I'm just telling you that now. The answer is probably not going to be to flip NFTs. It's really exorbitantly harder to flip NFTs sustainably and efficiently than people think. Most people who make a massive NFT gain is A, pure luck, B, timing that is also pure luck, and C, pure luck on when they sold. They might have sold the top, but it's not because they had a sustainable, sold this, bought in here, sold here, bought here, sold here, bought here. That's not what happens. People make a lot of money flipping NFTs by getting lucky with one project, but submitting for 50 other ones, trying to mint all these other projects, spending, 0.5 0.4 ETH, minting all these NFTs and buying these NFTs and stuff, and then one of them hits and you make all your money back. The thing I noticed, and this is proven because we've seen all the top influencers come out and post the results, and almost all of them are in the net negative balance at the end of this entire last NFT craze, right? 99% of them all lost money. They have less money than they started. That should be fucking alarms in your head, all right? I'm going to post mine because I fucking was net positive, motherfucker, and I'm not even a flipper. And I didn't sell any of my top NFTs that are in my ledger. So I'm like way net positive, and that's because I'm risk off. I don't do a bunch of degenerate bullshit. If you've been watching my channel for a long time, you know that I focus on the Web3 industry as a whole. I focus on content creation. I focus on videos, YouTube, reviews, podcasts. I focus on that. And I pick and choose my battles. I take profits when I can. I don't try and time the top. It's not going to happen. I take profits when I can. I allocate money out. If I make a big flip, I pull out some, put it in my bank account, and make sure I'm stacking it there. But if you want to actually make money in NFTs, it's going to be joining the right communities, getting a good alpha pass. Champs Crypto is also another good one that I remember it. Champ Crypto is really, really good. I would follow him a little bit, and just try and get in and get out fast. Get in and out, get out fast. For NFTs, that's the name of the game right now. You're in a casino pulling slots. It's better to get it in, get out. If you're messing with like shit coins and stuff, get in, get the fuck out. That's my best advice. Okay, then we have Steph from the Web3 Sensei Hour, fellow YouTuber, content creator. What's up, man? He says, I know you started fresh on your socials, specifically Instagram. What was the hardest part when letting go and growing from zero? Okay, yeah, I don't know how he knows this, but yeah, I used to be a fitness influencer. I'll post a photo or two up here. I used to have like 12 or 13,000 followers on Instagram. I had like brand deals and stuff like that too. All the things that you'd want from like a up and coming fitness creator, right? But I found it just wasn't making me happy anymore. I didn't like that I was focusing so much on my physique. People didn't care what I had to say. They were just like thirsty picture, and I was just like, this isn't like what I want to do anyway. So I deleted that account. It was a really hard decision for me to delete the account. Sometimes I regret it, I'm not going to lie, because numbers unfortunately do matter, and sometimes numbers will get you in doors that otherwise wouldn't be open for you. So in some ways I regret it, but in the grand scheme of things, I don't. I'll get back to that. You know, I'll have 12,000 followers again at some point. And so the hardest part about growing from zero was nothing. Honestly, it wasn't hard to do that. It was relatively easy for me to be like, okay, well, I'm done with this life. I'm going to be a photographer. So I've just got to delete this shit. It's not like it matters anyway. Like if I start posting photography on this old account with fitness people, I'm going to get the same amount of fucking engagement, like nothing, because they don't care and they don't know about me. So I thought it as more of a challenge, and I was like, yo, let's see like what people think. I'm going to start making a photography post. I'm going to start sharing my journey and my travels and stuff like that. It wasn't that hard, honestly. Like I've just gotten used to the fact, like I've gotten used to people not giving a shit about me. And I got really used to that for a long time. And for a long time, I let it get to me and kind of put me down and be like, oh, I suck. But then somewhere along the lines, I just like watching enough Gary Vee or something, I just was like, yo, you know what? It's fine. They don't care. Like, I don't care. I'm going to win. I'm going to win with or without them. And when I get to the top, they're not going to be anywhere around. That's one of my favorite quotes that I came up with by myself. I got to coin that and trademark that. But you're going to get to the top, and they are going to be nowhere to be found. They will not be there when you're at the top. That's why they don't matter. Haters don't matter because they will not get to the top. They'll not be there. You will be at the summit, and they'll be down at base camp too. It doesn't fucking matter. So when I accepted that and realized that it makes no difference, I'm going to get to the top. I'm going to win. I don't know what that even means, but I'm going to win. And when I get there, it will not matter which Instagram I started with. It's just not going to matter. I just want to do it this way because it's better. I want to start from here and be able to say when I got to the top that I grew that shit. I grew that shit from the ground up, and I did that on my own. So it's cool. Like when I hit 1,000 followers on Instagram, I was like, let's go. It was dope. It was cool, man. It was really, really cool for me. And it's seeing that I'm getting growth and people are following me because they get some kind of value out of it. And that was a very different way of thinking from my old Instagram, which is post sexy picture, get engagement. Like that was literally it. And it was stupid as fuck. I bought followers a little bit for that account. I bought engagement like multiple times. And I remember I was just like, yo, what am I doing this for? Like, what's the point of this? Like, I'm not even getting anything out of this. It was just silly. So that's my answer. That's a great question. And I forgot to ask my Discord if they had any questions. So while I wait a few minutes, I'm going to talk about, I think that's really important. So I'm going to talk about the first ever end of summer Joyage Kingdom close drop. It's going to be in launches. This is the way I'm going to do my close. It's going to be open for a period of time, the website, and then it's going to be closed for a majority of the time. And every season, I'm thinking it's going to be like a seasonal thing. And every season, I'm going to do a new collection, or I'll just open up the store again. I'm not sure how I'm going to do it exactly. I kind of like the idea of like almost putting that pressure on to like market it a little bit during a certain period of time and then like cooling off, letting people forget about it. But I am going to use some NFT tactics to try and get a little bit of FOMO in. So like if you want one of the OG Joyage Kingdom hats, either the gray or the silver one, the only way you can get that hat is, one, it's not even in the summer collection. It's not even in this first drop. The only hat that's available in this first drop is the red one. That's why I've been wearing it a lot lately. So you have to have proof of ownership that you bought the red hat to be able to one day buy this one. It will likely be in the next launch. But if you want one of the OG hats, which everyone loves, you have to buy the red hat. It's not gonna be like crazy expensive or anything, but like you have to buy it. That's just one thing I want to do that I'm gonna start incorporating. And I want to do like one item per launch that's kind of like that, where you had to have bought the other one just to create a little bit of like scarcity. I think it's fun. I just want to do that just more for fun. So in this first drop, it's gonna have the Joyage Kingdom tee. It's gonna have the Joyage Kingdom tee with the logo, the black and white logo here. It's gonna have the red hat, and I'm waiting for this right now in the mail, but it's a duffel bag made by Adidas with Joyage written on it. But as long as that one comes out the way I want, that will be the fourth item in the first drop. Then like in the fall and the winter, I'll have a drop which will include the crew neck and the hoodie made by Champion. It'll have the beanie featured and just things like that. Like I'm really, really excited to start selling these clothes. Honestly, like for the past 6 months, people have been like actually asking me to sell the clothes because I wear them. You guys see it on my videos. I only wear Joyage Kingdom clothes because this shit's dope. Like this shirt, I'm so excited for people to get this shirt. The classic hero shirt with the Joyage written in the middle is my favorite one by far. And it's so fucking comfortable. It's like a heavyweight cotton. It's such high quality shit, guys. Like I spent over $2,000 on samples to get my clothes the exact way I want, which I know is gonna sound crazy to you because you're like, it's just a black t-shirt with one word in the middle, but like you don't understand. With like blends and working with different companies, different styles, it's so much fucking work. You don't even, it's crazy. Like I had no idea because you have to sample them each time you find one that you think you like. You have to go buy it and then like wait for shipping and all this stuff happens. Like, do I like this font? Is it just the right size? Like then you like order it and like you get the actual shirt and you're like, well, this isn't exactly what I thought it was. And then you adjust it and then it comes back different. And it's just like all these things you got to jump through. And it was a long process. All right, here's the final question. We have Sean, OG Joyager. He says, if you're an animal, what animal would you be and why? God, I fucking hate that question, Sean. That's such a like interview question that I never knew the right answer to. That was actually like really hard because like the way I see myself and where I want to be, like I want it to be something like along the lines of a fucking lion. Like that's what I want to be. I'm not there yet. There's a certain level of self-discipline that you have to apply and have to be able to call yourself like king of the jungle, top dog, whatever. But that is the goal to get to there. So right now I say I'm probably like a fucking wolf that shows up 70% of the time, which I'm okay with. You know, I do like a lot of my identity probably comes from determination and wanting something really bad and fighting through it and feeling like a loner a little bit, which is why I choose like the lion and the wolf because they're a bit more of like loner style animals. I mean, they have their pack, but like they're basically loners, right? And so that's the goal, is to get to like a lion status. But right now I'm like a wolf or like level 2 version of that, where I show up most of the time, but I still fucking fall prey to shit like weed. Like I'll still smoke weed and waste half my day. I love weed. My problem, dude, with weed is just like I love weed so much. Like you have no idea I love weed, but I also hate weed. I hate weed so much because I know for a fact weed does not make you more productive. I don't care how much you think it does. It does not. You go sober for 6 weeks, you will realize how much more productive you could be when you're sober. The issue is I need a vice, bro. Like I need one vice. Right, Andrew Tate says this shit. He's got one vice. Is fucking like he drinks some vodka and like smokes cigars. Like you've seen. Like everyone has a vice, and for me, weed is the one thing that I crave every now and then. And when I'm sober, like I go sober all the time. Like I'll go like 2 weeks on weed, and I'll go like 7 or 8 weeks without it, and I'm totally fine. But at the 7 week mark, I start to like crave it. Honestly, it's probably closer to 4, like 4, 5, 6 weeks in. The thing is, I feel great. I feel amazing when I'm not smoking. Like 12 out of 10 in all departments when I'm sober. But I want something to kind of like be able to just like bring myself down almost. And that's what weed does. Like weed's a bit of a downer for the most part. And I almost like that. I think it comes from just like my life being where I almost liked being sad. And I've talked about this in a past podcast. I almost like feeling sad, feeling down on myself, feeling like introspective and deep. And weed kind of allows me to enter that space automatically. Like you'll get high and like unless you're watching jokey clips and stuff, like you'll get a little bit deeper than you normally would. And I think I like that. I think I like being able to feel like I'm going deeper, like kind of just like, oh, like mellow it out. And for me, weed is that vice. We have a question from Will, OG in the space, also my head mod. He says, what influencer seems like they'd be the most fun to be rugged by? Oh my God. Bro, Cody would be fucking funny. If Cody rugged everyone, that'd be like the biggest, that'd be the jokiest thing. Like that would be so funny actually. So Cody, if you're watching this, rug everybody, bro. That would be fucking hilarious. Or maybe Pasta, bro. Like NFT Pasta, that would be pretty funny if he just rugged everyone. I would laugh. It's Bill Nye the Science Guy. Also, I want to give a shout out to everyone in my Discord, especially everyone who follows me, everyone who supports me. I appreciate all of you, but especially the people in my Discord, especially my Royalgers, especially my OG Joyagers. Fucking thank you, because I pop into my Discord all the time, and I can't tell you how incredible it is to have your own community of people who fuck with you and support you. And when times are tough, when times suck, you can just go in there and say what's up, and like someone will always respond and be like, yo, and just talk. Like I love Discord and just the community we have in there. It's a bunch of really good people. It's not like crazy pop in, dropping alpha every 6 seconds in there, but like this is a place where you can go in and like pretty much like be chill and be safe, and it's a fun place to be. I like being there. If you have like legitimate questions, it gets answered. It's a really good time in my Discord. So I just want to say I appreciate everyone in there. I appreciate you, Bryce. Appreciate you, Will. For anyone who puts in some work, you know, like I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Okay, this is another thing I want to talk about. This just happened. So if you guys don't know, I have my own NFTs. They're NFT art pieces. They're my self-portrait photography, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But I had one of my holders who was a bit older. She's like in her 30s or 40s, and she was from the Netherlands. Very conservative, way more like reserved. Doesn't have like a big sense of humor like that. Got like a PhD. She's like not typically the people who are buying like my NFTs, right? So when she found me, she really liked my in-depth analysis style of content and thought that was really good. She was really nice, and basically bought some of my NFTs. Paid a lot, paid like 1 ETH for one of them, I think. And so she bought those, and I guess she thought that my community was a bunch of people like her who were trying, like, who were PhDs and like having super in-depth conversations. What she didn't know is like all my holders are like degenerates and just like having fun and like doing their own thing and whatnot. And so she felt like she was maybe not getting enough out of the community side, and then thought a lot of my content was becoming a bit more degenerative. Like TikToks and like seeing like silly videos and dark humor. Like she was just like, this isn't what I signed up for, blah blah blah. Like essentially just got like, went ape shit on me and just like attacked everything about my character and was just like, you're a terrible person, you're never gonna get anywhere, like those kind of things. It was really out of the blue and honestly like fucking shocking. I was completely shocked, really sad for about a day, because that was someone I respected and had a lot of appreciation for, because I don't have people who are in that kind of position to be like, yo, I like your content. And I don't know, it kind of sucked for a day, because I was like, yo, like 90% of my content is exactly what you sign up for. It's podcast interviews and reviews. Like that's, but the bulk of my content is that. Like 90% of my stuff is not stupid shit. 10% of my stuff is stupid shit. You just happen to see one and just thought it was everything I'm doing. And so she's like, was super pissed off, I'm sure, because she paid so much money for the NFT and she couldn't get out of it, kind of thing. Because like my NFTs typically, people aren't like looking to buy and sell them so much. Like most people buy my NFT, put it in their ledger and forget about it. People buy it as like a support token. Eventually I want to add some really cool utility to it and do some cool things. I think once I'm rich and successful as fuck and know a lot of people and stuff, I can do some really interesting things for them. But right now, like, it's just a support token. That's never been anything more than that. It's never been anything more than that. And I've made many YouTube videos, lots of content talking about it. I have a FAQ in my Discord where it talks about everything my NFTs are and aren't. So it kind of sucked. And so yeah, I mean, I went into my Discord and was like, yo, this is what happened, what do you guys think? And they came to me, I mean, they supported me, and they were like, yeah, that's her take, it's whatever, she can have her own opinion and stuff. And it was cool. Now put in the part about Discord. But yeah, as to that thing about the chick that just got super upset at me, I don't really have anything to say to her. It's just like, you know, I listened to her message. It was like an 8-minute rant, and I tried to take it and say, okay, like, what in here is legit? Like, what in here is something I need to think about, because maybe I'm going off track, and what about this is just her being emotional as fuck, right? And about 90% of it was emotional. There were a couple things there where I was like, okay, let me add that to my arsenal and add that to my mentality and stuff like that, and try and work on some of the things. But for the most part, it's just an emotional reaction. That's why I didn't respond. I never really addressed it. I didn't respond to her, which probably pissed her off. But yeah, I just wanted to like kind of talk about that super quick. But I basically made an announcement right after in my Discord. I was like, yo, if this is what you thought my NFTs were, they are not. They are only a support token. You buy my NFT if you think I will be bigger next year. You buy my NFT if you support me and you fuck with me. They're really expensive. That's why most people don't buy them. But like the floor is like half an ETH on them, or even more, I forget. But if you want to be part of it, that's what it is. That's it. Like if you fuck with me, that's it. That's really it. It's in our collection. So yeah, that's all I'll say there. Anyways, guys, that's going to bring this episode to a close. Thank you so much for watching this. If you watch these kind of videos of me, then I really fuck with you. Thank you. I really do appreciate you. The code word if you made to the very end is going to be fucking all caps, Joyage Kingdom. Joyage fucking Kingdom. I told you guys a year ago that 2022 will be the year of the Joyage Kingdom, and I am going to try and make that happen. So Joyage Kingdom is the code word if you made it to the end. Thank you so much for being here. If you haven't already, smash the like button for me. Subscribe to the channel. Join the kingdom. If you're not following me on Twitter, if you're not my Discord down below in the description. You're only hurting yourself, fam. If you want to see more of me right now, click one of these boxes on the other side of me. Until next time, continue on your Joyage. Continue to learn. And be grateful for your laugh watching this video.